Y'all, Joe Rogan has reignited one of Hollywood's most controversial conversations by linking three powerful names: Diddy, Oprah Winfrey, and CliveDavis. Whether you believe the theories or not, the timing has people asking questions all over again. On February 11, 2012, Whitney Houston was found unresponsive in her hotel bathtub at the Beverly Hilton. Despite emergency efforts, she was pronounced dead just before the Grammy Awards. As investigators examined the scene, another detail shocked the public. CliveDavis continued hosting his annual pre-Grammy party in the same hotel. That decision immediately fueled suspicion. Many wondered how such an event could continue while one of music's biggest stars had just died under mysterious circumstances. Over the years, countless theories have surfaced, and now Joe Rogan's recent discussion has brought the case back into the spotlight. According to Rogan, there may be more to Whitney's story than most people realize, and he suggested that CliveDavis may not be the only powerful figure whose name deserves attention.
They would come over and I would sell Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston. You know, they would come over like $1,100, which was per diem money. I was taking Whitney's per diem money, right? Every day they come over with a little white envelope and give me the per diem money, and I'd go up to the Martel cartel and I'd buy 14 grams of take an 8-ball out and cut it and then give it to Whitney Houston. And they were going crazy. This went on for 30, 40 days. But I couldn't snort all the blow I was stealing from them. I couldn't snort it. It was just too much. So I was giving it to Marilyn Martinez to hold for me.
Isn't she dead?
She's dead. That's the coke that killed her.
There's criminals all over everyone's almost accounts in the music industry. It's not a safe place. It's a treacherous place. So
filled with money. As soon as things are filled with money, they're filled with people that are trying to take advantage of other people.
It's filled with money. Bees come down.
Joey Diaz's comments quickly caught viewers' attention, especially because they resurfaced during renewed interest in Whitney's death. At the same time, another controversy emerged after Whitney's sister-in-law, Pat Houston, publicly challenged remarks made by Oprah Winfrey about Whitney's final years.
Pat, first and foremost, what went through your mind when you heard Oprah's comments?
The first interview I did with her, she was clean. But the day she came to my show then to perform, she was not. And she fell off of the stage.
When I watched it, I was totally surprised. And, you know, my response, it didn't have anything to do with anger or outrage with Oprah, because I know for a fact on that day that Whitney was not high.
What do you remember about Whitney that day when you saw her?
You couldn't even get her out of her room, you know, if she were high. And for a statement to be made like that, it was extremely disappointing. And I have all the respect in the world for Oprah. I have to protect her legacy, you know. If it were true, I would admit it being true.
What Pat does admit, Whitney did fall off the stage during rehearsals.
She missed her step, then she fell off stage. And of course, Oprah was very gracious, and she immediately, you know, addressed the audience.
The audience had cameras. I begged them not to put those pictures out because it would ruin her life.
She was adamant about it. No one will hear about this. You will not disrespect her. And she was so adamant and gracious.
What would you say to Oprah today?
Sister to sister, what happened? Because we both know that did not happen. I certainly would just want to ask the question, why? But it's not something, it wouldn't be anything confrontational, because I know that Whitney really, you know, trusted her. And
Oprah's story immediately divided public opinion. Some believe she was sharing a personal memory, while others question why she chose to bring it up so many years later. That debate soon reached Jaguar Wright's platform, where the discussion took another dramatic turn.
I was interviewing Whitney Houston. I think it was her last show with us, and she had gone back on drugs.
You're drug-free?
Yes, ma'am. No weed, no.
Do you think you ever will again? Be tempted?
Oprah, I can only take today, one day at a time. Right now, no.
The first interview I did with her, she was clean. But the day she came to my show then to perform in front of the audience, she was not. And she fell off of the stage.
That unforgettable 2009 interview took place nearly 2.5 years before Whitney's tragic drowning. It was shot over several days and spanned 2 cities, first New York.
Your drug of choice was weed combined with cocaine.
Okay.
With rock.
Yes.
Then Chicago.
I am at that point in my life, I have no regrets.
While accepting the Cannes Lionheart Award, Oprah now says she tried to protect the singer by covering up the apparent relapse.
I knew if that story got out that she'd fallen off of the stage, that she would be destroyed by that. And so even though the audience had cameras, I begged them life, and they did not.
I spoke to Oprah in Chicago just days before the interview aired.
Did she tell the truth about her relationship, the drug?
Where I was like, I'm confused, and Whitney at one moment says, stay with me, Oprah. We're freebasing.
Basically.
So what are you smoking with? How do you,
You put it in your marijuana. Oprah. Okay.
Okay.
Go with me here.
Okay, go. I'm going with you.
You put it in your marijuana, you lace it, you roll it up, and you smoke it, and your weed.
You ask the question, and they are saying things, and your jaw is dropping, and you're like, ay, ay, ay.
Jaguar Wright wasn't convinced Oprah's explanation told the full story. She pointed out that Pat Houston, Whitney's longtime manager and sister-in-law, has consistently maintained that Whitney wasn't under the influence during that rehearsal. According to Pat, the fall happened because the stage was dark during soundcheck, not because Whitney had relapsed. If that's true, Jaguar asked, why tell the story differently now? And why bring it back into the spotlight after so many years? Those questions became the foundation of a much bigger theory.
This can go first. I'll let her say what she has to say, because what I have to say, it's going to hit a little different.
Honestly, when it comes to Oprah, she very disrespectful. Like, I see how she tried. Like, she just so disrespectful. TD and like, y'all personally know how I feel about Oprah. So anytime she even opens her mouth, it's already on behalf of the wicked machine that she stems from. And for her to just, it's like we said earlier, TD, how I was shocked that the machine just keep going. I'm not surprised she's gonna be disrespectful and mention anybody and mention Whitney. The fact that Whitney's name came out of her mouth, I feel she needs to be slapped, but that's me personally. I don't do disrespect like that. Somebody needed to start showing people like Oprah that ignorant respect.
Jag,
Girl,
your take?
Well, for me, I look at the timing.
Yeah.
Y'all know, just like Clarence Avant used to say, it all comes down to the numbers. For me, it all comes down to the timing. She's there being honored, accepting this award. There's so many interviews she could have talked about with uncomfortable things that were viral moments. She could have talked about when Tom Cruise came and was jumping on the couch, going crazy over Katy Perry. I mean, not Katy Perry. Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She could have talked about so many other things, but the simple fact that this moment that she's speaking about wasn't even aired, that it was only known to the people in that room. And since 2009, we're talking 17 years.
Yeah.
Nobody from that audience has leaked any of that at all. Nobody heard anything about this. That moment did not exist until this.
Jaguar suggested the timing wasn't accidental. She noted that Oprah's comments came as renewed attention was being placed on CliveDavis, leading her to wonder whether the conversation was being redirected. Whether that theory holds any weight or not, it quickly gained traction online. But Jaguar didn't stop there. She also brought another familiar name into the discussion, Diddy.
I have another theory. CliveDavis was officially announced as deceased on the 22nd of June. Now, this festival that she's at in Cannes, it started on the 21st, and I believe it ended on like the 23rd or the 24th. So I believe it, the 23rd.
Yes.
She was honored on the 23rd, the day after Clive had passed away. And from the second that Clive passed away and it was announced, people have been, look at what you did to Whitney Houston. Look at what you did to Whitney Houston. You did this to Whitney Houston. You did that to Whitney Houston. I think all of us know that the elites for years now have used Oprah Winfrey to destroy whoever the media wants destroyed. She sat there and she pretended to be a supporter of Michael Jackson in his life.
Lord.
But then
Lord.
after his
Lord.
death, she sat there and she interviewed that Leaving Neverland nonsense. The way she does people, the way she lined up Toni Braxton about her bankruptcies, the way, like, Oprah, this is what she...
According to Jaguar, both Oprah and TD Jakes later minimized their connections to Diddy after facing public scrutiny over attending his events. She argued that those responses only encouraged more speculation, with many people questioning whether influential figures were trying to distance themselves from the controversy.
She did do that as well, and she sacked Monique. But let's also not forget all of the people who she helped for the media's sake. Because Lord knows when her and TD Jakes were both being called out for their attendance at Diddy parties. She sat down with TD Jakes and they said, oh my God, I was just there for a second. I was invited. I've never been to any parties. I haven't seen anything. And when they started talking about Epstein Island, she started doing damage control.
Yeah.
You know, that's what she does. And in my opinion, if I had to guess at dollars to donuts, I think she got a phone call while she was there in France. I think someone in the elite structure said, look, we need you to do a hit piece on Whitney for Clive. This is becoming too much. Too many people are talking about the demises, and they all keep talking about Whitney. There's Whitney memes everywhere. This needs to stop. We need you to do something. Do something big. Make sure the world hears it. Make sure it goes viral. Now, she didn't say anything about Clive. But
Not
what
at
she
all.
did do was highlighted Whitney Houston's addiction issues. But this is from an interview from back in 2009. Whitney didn't die until 2012. I Look to You and all of that came after that. So, once again, nobody was talking about Whitney's addiction issues in 2009. Nobody was talking about any of that. Like, for crying out loud, Clive was still sending her overseas to make a fool of herself doing concerts while she was stone high out of her mind.
Yeah, she was in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, right? During
Kazakhstan. She was that
Mhm.
Kazakhstan, for crying out loud. But see, her reminding the world in some benign way that Whitney was an addict, it gives credence to the theory that she died of an overdose in that tub. And it takes the spotlight away from people speculating about whether or not Clive was the one that did it. See how that works?
Yeah, got it.
That's media spin 101. 101. And Whitney's dead. So why does she care? Who's going to sue her?
Jaguar's argument centered on one idea, that discussions about Whitney Houston's death may be shaping how the public remembers her. She questioned whether renewed focus on Whitney's past struggles was distracting people from the unanswered questions that have surrounded her passing for years.
Into a hotel room, right? Yeah. That's a 5-star hotel, Hollywood Hilton, right? Beverly Hills Hilton. Can I ask you a question? Where the footage from the hallway? Where the footage from the hallway? Why we never saw the footage from the hallway? You know why? Because whoever had Whitney Houston had enough power to make that footage disappear. But for what though?
That's what I was gonna ask though. What she was fighting for?
I'm gonna tell you what I think she was fighting for. What do all entertainers do when they run out of money? So they masters publishing. What's the first thing they start looking at?
They publishing, they masters. Yes.
Their masters.
Yes.
And all the royalties that I never got.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh.
So
Whitney Houston broke the Beatles record.
Yes.
Whitney Houston broke Elvis's record. Whitney Houston is the only black artist ever, not even Michael Jackson.
So on right now, it's a very strange story this morning. The death of Whitney Houston, of course, shocked fans around the world. Now a private investigator is dropping quite a bombshell, claiming that she was actually murdered.
He says he's got proof. KTLA's Christina Pascucci is live outside the Beverly Hilton with more on this. Good morning.
Good morning, Chris and Megan. A very strange story indeed. This former police officer, private investigator, and actor says he has proof and evidence he's sending to the FBI that Whitney Houston was murdered by two men, drug dealers, who were trying to collect a debt. Let's show you a video from the night that this all happened back in February. Whitney Houston was found dead here at the Beverly Hilton. Toxicology reports showed she drowned in her bathtub accidentally because of use and heart disease. But Paul Hubel, he says that is not the case. He is sending key evidence to the FBI, someone who did not believe or accept the circumstances surrounding Houston's death. We also contacted Beverly Hills Police. They say this is the first time they've really heard anything about this, and they will not comment at this time. Really all we...
They saw her body. She didn't just die in a tub, like she was being...
Jaguar also criticized projects released under Whitney's name, claiming they benefit the people who control her estate more than they honor her legacy. She argued that every new documentary or tribute should be viewed with a critical eye, especially when the same names continue to appear behind the scenes.
Who kind of was in this movie? Do you feel like it's an injustice to what this looked?
I feel like anything with her name on it is strictly for the purposes of financial gain for those who have access to her estate, including CliveDavis.
Including CliveDavis.
This ain't a film to celebrate Whitney Houston. This is a film to, pay the piper.
He was the one trying to bring her back, though, at the time of prior to her death, right?
Him.
Okay.
He needed her back.
Oh yeah.
He needed her back, but he needed her back and under his control.
Mm.
You want to know what CliveDavis did for Whitney Houston? While he was busy trying to bring her back. See, people forget, before she came to the United States, he sent her on an international tour. And she went out on tour, and she was still getting high at the time. Let's see. What happens if I put in Whitney Houston, Kazakhstan?
That's where she went? She was out in Kazakhstan? Oh, man.
This was not long before she passed away.
I think I know what you're about
here's
to pull
the
up.
full concert. She only did 4 songs.
Yeah, I think I know you, but I think I remember the voice.
Huh?
Yeah, I remember you with the voice. I know where you're about to go with this. I think I remember this one.
Not just the voice.
Just everything.
The whole show.
Ouch.
Straight to commercial.
Yeah. It's yeah, I see that. It's definitely.
It'll make you cry if you really love music and if you really love Whitney Houston. And then after a couple of joints, you will find it hilarious. Not because you're happy that she's falling apart. It's just she's doing the antics so dope. You know what I mean? She was in it. Huh? What is my key? Like she's in front of the president of Kazakhstan.
Oh my God.
But it was good enough to get that check though. And then he put her in rehab to clean her up right before it came time for America, because she had to at least appear sober in America for the whirlwind story. And then they brought in R. Kelly to do that song for her.
Her claims didn't stop there. Jaguar alleged that Whitney's relationship with CliveDavis had become strained shortly before her death. She also claimed there had been a serious disagreement just days before the Grammy Awards and suggested that Ray J was among the last people to see Whitney alive. Those allegations remain disputed, but they have continued to circulate online.
He was the one that found her. But they pledge allegiance to Clive too.
Jeez.
Well, Ray J was kind of down on his luck because the whole bullshit had happened, and then, Whitney was dead and he was using her, as he's said himself, for clout, and then all of a sudden he got Love and Hip Hop LA after Whitney died. And then they inappropriately put her stupid ass goddaughter on there. I just thought it was all kind of cheesy. Yeah, so no, I probably won't be watching the movie just because I know whose money the proceeds are going to, and royally, and for inventing Diddy. For that, for letting that out of control whack ass whoremonger and sodomite just run rampant all over this goddamn business.
The conversation became even more emotional after Whitney's daughter, Bobby Christina, also died just a few years later. Her passing reignited speculation, with some family members publicly questioning whether both tragedies deserved a closer look.
That somebody killed my niece, just like they killed her mother.
Bobby Christina Brown's aunt Leola Brown is claiming in an Inside Edition exclusive that she thinks her niece was murdered.
Nick, Bobby Christina. When Nick gets arrested, everything will fall like dominoes.
Nick Gordon has never been arrested or charged in connection with Bobby Christina's death, and he has denied any wrongdoing. Bobby was found unresponsive in a bathtub last January and was taken off life support on July 26th.
I believe that there are several people that wanted Bobby Christina dead, but I think the purpose of her death was to gain full access to Whitney Houston's estate.
Watch Inside Edition to see what Leola says happened in the days before Bobby's death.
See, something is wrong here. Something is.
That brings the discussion back to Diddy. Some commentators have speculated about his relationship with CliveDavis and whether influential figures within the music industry shared closer ties than the public realized. No evidence has established Diddy's involvement in Whitney Houston's death, but those theories continue to circulate across podcasts and social media.
Wright told us that he learned everything from CliveDavis. Jaguar Wright has explained how much of a monster CliveDavis is, and she constantly says that Diddy learned everything from him. Jaguar Wright claimed that CliveDavis had something to do with Whitney Houston's unaliving because she was getting ready to leave CliveDavis's record label because she realized she was missing a whole bunch of money. And a lot of people thought it was terrible when CliveDavis continued to party even though Whitney Houston had just died in the same hotel. And then to add that with even more mystery, it was super weird when Whitney Houston gave this note to Brandy the night before she passed away. And honestly, I want to know what that note says more than anything honestly in the world. And then after Whitney Houston passed away, Bobby Brown's sister started saying that Whitney's death was no accident and saying that Bobby Christina was not safe.
Whitney Houston's body told anybody upon looking at it that it was foul play. Okay, don't get it twisted. No, Whitney Houston, I counted at least 10 gashes in her chest alone. She had marks up and down her legs. Her fingernails were chipped. Her face was busted out. It was blown up. Yes, as if somebody was her in the face. Whitney Houston fought for her life.
Jaguar Wright claimed that this happened to Whitney Houston because she was trying to leave CliveDavis, and then she said the same thing happened to Bobby Christina because Bobby Christina inherited Whitney Houston's estate. And Jaguar Wright claimed that Bobby Christina's boyfriend had a meeting with CliveDavis, and this is how CliveDavis basically set it up to make the same thing happen to Bobby Christina. And just wait till you hear what Bobby Brown's sister had to say about Bobby Christina's passing.
Basically, right before Whitney was murdered, Nick was brought into the picture. And when Nick did that to Bobby Christina and she was rushed to the hospital, because after he beat her and drove her up them steps, he shot her up with something and threw her in the bathtub. It was a setup. It was a setup. Yes. Nick was told not to let her go out of that house.
Whether these claims reveal hidden truths or simply fuel more speculation remains a matter of debate. One thing is certain, Whitney Houston's death continues to raise difficult questions more than a decade later. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below.